Okay, man, this album is good. Like sometimes when I do an album review, I mean, I like to just go all the way through, but sometimes I'll take a break, like, you know, so we get to about that 10 song ish kind of count. I might do like three and three, and then take a break, you know, and then come back and do like the last three. But this is too good, and I've just been going straight through, right? Because I gotta hear the rest of this, right? I gotta know how this ends. Okay, so next track is Bulldozer. This sounds like it's gonna be fun. Let's see.
Look, once upon a time 정해진 것들이 있대. 규칙들을 깨부수는 액션 반전 있는 베리. 원한다면 가지는 게 나만의 rule. 막아서면 다칠지도 몰라. You better run. 네 예상보다 조금 느려. Splash 찍고 전환. Better get out of my way. I'm a bulldozer. 기회 줄 때 없어. 도망가는 보기보다 참을성이 없어. I'm your poet, I'm your pain. 시작하면 멈추는 법 따윈 없는 break. I'm a bulldozer. 거침없이 closer. 모든 걸 다 망가뜨릴 내 모습이 보여. I'm your poet, I'm your pain. 감당할 수 없다면 넌 그쯤하고 back. Hey, what can I break? What can I break? Yeah. What can I break? What can I break? Bulldozer. What can you break? What can you break? Maybe you can. What can you break? What can you break? Bulldozer. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I told ya. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. A bulldozer. 헷갈린 적 없어 target. 뭐라도 하면 넌 놓지 않아. 그게 나니까. 가뿐히 handle it. 방심하는 그 순간 그가의 속삭임 crawling. Sorry you got in my way. I'm a bulldozer. 이 다음은 없어. 서둘러 난 보기보다 참을성이 없어. I'm your poet, I'm your pain. 시작하면 멈추는 법 따윈 없는 break. I'm a bulldozer. 한계까지 closer. 모든 게 다 헝클어진 이 모습이 보여. I'm your poet, I'm your pain. 감당할 수 없다면 너 이쯤에서 back. What can I break? 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 Bulldozer. What can you break? What can you break? Maybe you can. What can you break? What can you break? Bulldozer. 나야 못돼 넘기시는 너를 cry야. 결국 너를 삼켜 like a fire. 멈추지 않아. 전부 knock you down. 나야 못돼 넘기시는 너를 cry야. 결국 너를 삼켜 like a fire. 멈추지 않아.
So it was very bouncy, right? Kind of jazzy, right? Keeping those minor chords, and then this little minor second step down, right? It goes a boom, boom, like the way it moves back down, right? In the sort of main verse chord progression. It's very cool. It's kind of like mystery thriller type of a vibe to it, but very bouncy, right? Some really nice drum fills in here too. The percussion on this song like really stood out, you know, because of the drum fills there, and fun lines, right? Lots of like the rap rhythms that are going on the lines, but in the, what is it? Let me see. I think it's the post-chorus section. Listen to the vocal harmonies that are going on, the sort of backing, it's the oohs, right? Ooh, ooh, really, oh, so nice, dude. So clean, like it's fantastic, man. That you have to, you know, it'll pop out, but if you miss it maybe the first times you listen to it, but pay attention to those backing vocal harmonies that are going on at there, because they're absolutely beautiful, man. That's one of the sweetest sounds you'll ever hear. This upper register, these you know, almost falsetto vocal harmonies are going on. It's magnificent stuff. But what a bouncy, fun track, right? They kept a little bit of that triplet feel, some here and there in the vocal rhythms that are going on. So far, like one of the most concise vocal deliveries. Like there's some really nice tight groups as far as the rhythm goes, but fun. It's kind of like espresso on Formula of Love, right? Like this bouncy bass type of sound that's going on, but this one it's a little bit more spacious, right? It's like there's a little bit more space in between all the sounds, and it gives it that characteristic cool to it. This is fun. This could also be like an A-side, but maybe you want to keep it to the real listeners, the real fans. This is fun. This is a bop. Bulldozer, yeah, that's fun. It's so we've gotten a little bit of that darkness back, right? Especially like with the chord progression on this song. So where Iced Coffee was that high point, we are kind of like, over the mountain now, and we are kind of like, coming back down a little bit here, but it's fun. You know how like it's very deliberate, a little bit more challenging to go up the mountain, and then you reach the peak, but when you start to go back down, it's a little bit faster because you got gravity and you got momentum, so you're kind of like able to get, let yourself get pulled along that way. The way we're moving, right, on One Kiss and Bulldozer, right, it's really nice up tempo and fun songs. It kind of has that feel, right, that over the mountain, now we're coming back down type of feel to it. But really, really fun. Yeah. Oh man, it's cool. It's very cool. That's a very cool song. Okay, Wings.
Sky Spread your wings, my butterfly. Spread your wings, butterfly. Spread your wings, baby. 반짝이는 the sky. You and me. 널 향해 열린 heaven. 아무도 아닌가. 네 멀던 yellow. Spread your wings, butterfly. Spread your wings, butterfly. 매일 밤 꿈꿔오는 햇살 위로 널 품에 안은 sky. Fly high 찬란하게 또 비가 내린대도 밝게 피어날 rainbow. 향해 빛나 yeah. Spread your wings, butterfly.
So the vocal harmonies, and I said they were kind of like hidden a little bit in Bulldozer, that kind of like in the background. This just started off with nothing but vocal harmony, and what a perfect finish on it too. Just to go out on nothing but vocals and claps. It's a perfect shape to this song. A bit of a throwback feel to it, right? There's a sort of like light R&B type of feel to this. That drum pattern, boom, ta, boom, 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 ta, like that's classic. That goes way back, right? The mixes, it's kind of like lo-fi, but maybe bring the fi up just a little bit, you know, because it sounds like so clean. But a lot of the like the pre-chorus section with those synth keys that are playing the rhythm part there, and some those little guitar licks in there, right? Or it might have been guitar, it might have been electric piano actually, but there's these little licks in there that are, well, they have that sort of lo-fi quality to them as far as the sound. But this is full-on vocal, you know, majesty. Like this is this is the vocal powerhouse song on this track, and it seems to be a bit of a empowerment type of concept, you know, spread your wings, butterfly. Like it's very uplifting, right? It's I don't know, like, I'm trying to think in terms of the way I've described the album so far. If we made it over the mountain and we're kind of, you know, now we're coming back down, things are evening out, right? It's not steep at all. You're very sure-footed, and you're just kind of gently moving along. And it's like kind of having a second wind. Like you've made it through, and you know you're going to be okay now, and you can kind of see your destination. You can kind of see where it is that you're going, and that brings your energy back, and it brings your spirits back up again. It's kind of like, okay, we can sort of coast now, like we've made it this far. But the vocal harmonies are incredible, man. Who had the low note in this? Because it's like, wow, dude. I mean, because I know that Red Velvet can go way up there in the register. I've heard, you know, Wendy, you know, Really Bad Boy is a good example, right? Because she hits that amazing high note that's in there. So we know that they can do that. But the absolute spread on this, right? Like the bass voice in those vocal harmonies, man, I'm not sure I've ever heard that in Red Velvet before. Like, and you know, this is straight up soprano, alto, tenor, bass type of arrangement, right? On the way these vocal harmonies are stacked. But I was like, when it first starts and you get that vocal harmonies coming in, sort of like whole notes they're holding, and made me think of like Because, you know, by the Beatles, right? Because it's a absolutely immaculate vocal harmony that's going on here. And it's like, it's very easy to listen to, right? It's very gentle, this beat that gets introduced, right? And the chord progression too. The chord progression is very intuitive. Again, this is now the lightest sort of feeling song, right? And it's got some of that bass in there, like, you know, like I said, you're sure-footed, like you got the ground under your feet, and you know it, right? You don't have to worry about it at all. But it's so light and airy, and everything above that, you know, and the vocal harmonies really accentuate that. And that was a perfect finish, right? And it comes in so early, like, and just listening to each section go by. Oh, the bridge is beautiful too. So it's a fantastic bridge section. When that finish comes around, it was like, okay, there was enough time to bring the beat back in, and to, you know, bring in, like, you know, some of the keys, some of the rhythm again. But I was hoping that they weren't going to do that. Like, once, you know, the beat kind of dropped and the rhythm was gone, and all we had was like the vocal harmonies and the claps again, I was like, oh, stay here, don't bring that back in, just please just stay right here. And it did. That was perfect. That took me like exactly to where I wanted to be, and it let me be there in that space. That was a perfect ending. You just there's no need to bring the beat back. There was time to, but there's no need to do it. And so I was like, oh, just stay here, just stay right here, just stay right here. And that's exactly what they did. That was beautiful. It was perfect. It was perfect. Okay. Last song is called Scenery. Okay, let's see.
요즘 따라 하루 전부 기억하고 싶나 봐. 여기저기 틈만 나면 낙서관으로 가자꾸 온통 뻔한 풍경들처럼 보여도 내겐 특별해. 너와의 핫피송 다 담겨져 있어. 마치 언제나 여름 날이던 것처럼 그림 같던 이야기를 세워나가. 새하얀 종이 위로 내일을 그려. 어차피 지나갈 구름도 색이 변해가는 나무들. 우리 닮은 풍경 한 장씩 작은 비밀처럼 둘만 열어보고 알 수 있게. 어딘가 좀 이상해도 나 신경 쓰지 않을래. 누가 보면 뭐라 해도 또 그게 우리의 하루니까. 한겨울 절대 얼지 않는 푸른 바다를 여름을 채워나가. 새하얀 종이 위로 매일을 그려. 어차피 지나갈 구름도
Oh, that was actually a very Beatlesy kind of chord progression that was going on. The beginning of the song, when you have just the piano and the guitar going, that's a fantastic chord progression. That's oh man, that is incredibly beautiful. This descending line, but there's definitely some seventh chords in there, some interesting, like perhaps modal chords, because it goes to certain points and then it doesn't really step down, but it changes it, and it's a very, very full chord progression. Like, it sounds absolutely perfect on the guitar. That beginning part of the song, right, when it's just the vocals, piano, and guitar, it's such a light sound, right? The chord progression is very sweet. It's a little nostalgic. It's a little bit, there's some somber sounding chords in there, right? Once it starts getting minor, and it's a descending line too. But then the band sound kicks in, right? The drums and the bass come in, and there's some really nice lines in the bass. It's mostly sits like over in the left side, right? There are certain, once it starts to transition between sections, that's when it kind of stands out a little bit more. But there's some really, really amazing bass lines that are going on. The percussion is pretty strong for the rest of the song being, kind of light, but that's why it like when it comes in and then when it sort of, sits out and lets the progression do its thing. It's a very big percussion sound for this type of song, right? But again, the vocal delivery this is a much more melodic and kind of gentle type of expression that's going on here. Perfectly captures that sort of bittersweet, but very, very easy going, right? Like and it's a little bit nostalgic. This is home, right? Like I said, the album, the way I've described it, is kind of this journey, right? And it started off in some, like, we went to some dark places, some very deep, dark places. And then it started to climb up a little bit, right? And then we reached like the top of the mountain. We had some fun up there. Then we started working our way back down. And by the time you get to Wings, like I said, it's smooth sailing from there. You can see home off in the distance. You already know, that you've made it. And this is home. This is scenery, right? Almost like remembering the journey so far, right? And the story that it was. And it's got that warm, intimate feeling. It's almost like you're sitting there in front of the fireplace, right? And it's got that nostalgic kind of quality to it. It's reflective, pensive, right? Sort of being in memories, right? And it's again a very, very amazing composition. This is a really incredible chord progression. It's absolutely fantastic, and the vocals are again very, very sweet, right? It does have a little bit of that. There's a little bit of pepper in the chocolate, right? There's a little bit of like bitterness in here. Because of the minor quality of many of the chords in the progression, but it keeps that warm sweetness to it also. And yeah, this is that type of classicism that I was talking about, where all of these songs, have this timeless appeal, this timeless quality, right? This is a really amazing album on the first listen through. but I can listen to this in 2033 and it's going to be just as good. And it's because of the composition, right? It's but the way that these songs are composed, the brilliant choice of instrument sounds in these different tracks, right? Dude, you've got massive horn, bass drums, organs, guitar, strings, to synths, right? Like you have 808 bass, you have sort of bit crushed synth sounds, you have lo-fi keys, electric piano, different types of percussion, right? There's such a breadth of sounds, right? Different tonal qualities, different timbres. It's like such a expansive spread of all these different elements, right? And they're all combined in brilliant ways so that it maximizes the value of each sound that you're hearing in the songs. And there's some like amazing songs in here, man. I hope that One Kiss gets a music video. I think it should. I think that's like, without a doubt, you can make a case for another A-side off of this, but One Kiss is one of them. That's an A-side. That's got to get an A-side treatment. It's an awesome song. And everything else, like I said before, if you're a Red Velvet fan, you'll enjoy this album a lot. If you're a K-pop fan, Chill Kill was probably a very interesting experience. One Kiss is going to be like right up your alley. That's got the catchiness that you need. It's going to hit that for you. And if you're somebody who just really loves music, if you have the background and everything, the composition on this and the arrangements are some of the most interesting that you'll ever hear, and definitely like in a while. Like this is incredibly wonderful composition and arrangement, and the instrument selection, the vocals. It's like, and you get everything from very fun vocal rhythms to these wonderfully melodic lines, right? These brilliant, amazing high notes, right? These absolute peaks, and you get some amazing vocal harmonies, man. Like that, it's absolutely killer all the way through, like from the first track all the way to the end. You know what I mean? This is a fantastic album for sure. And I think it really is a bit of a journey when you sit down to listen to this thing all the way through, like from start to finish. And it's really, really brilliant stuff. I love it. I love the dark places that it took me, and the way it sort of climbed out of that and started to be more fun and bright, and like, oh, okay, like it kept going, and it had a very definite shape to it, right? A very, very definite path that it was on. It knew where it started and it knew where it wanted to go. And it's very intuitive. As you listen, at first you're kind of like, you're along for the ride. Like, well, okay, I'm not sure where we're going, but I trust you, right? It doesn't take long, though, for everything to really start making sense. And it becomes very intuitive after that. And you kind of like grow along with the album. And by the time by the time you hit One Kiss, like you're completely immersed in it. And it's a brilliant album. It really is. There's nostalgia, there's mystery, there's some bittersweet flavor, there's some absolute glowing red all over this track. It's one of the most sophisticated albums that I have ever heard. and it's amazing because it's fairly concise. You know what I mean? Like 10 tracks. There's not a particularly long runtime on it. Like they're all pretty much within that 3.5 minute range. But it is an absolute journey. Like it's an absolute odyssey into, you know, these different realms, and it's fun. Like it, you know, some parts are a little bit intimidating. They're a little bit obscure, like I said, mysterious, mystic, and other parts are like very bright and very sweet and very uplifting. And it's got, you know, the whole journey, right? It's got the entire thing all very neatly wrapped up and balanced, and it's very unique. Yeah, this is an incredible album by Red Velvet. Oh man, dude, you know, it's been a while, right, since I did an album review or heard a Red Velvet album. But this was like perfect. There's so many perfect songs, right? Perfect finishes on songs. And then the overall album itself, the structure, you know, everything. Like this is pretty much perfect. I wouldn't change, you know, anything about it. I don't think it's necessary at all. And a very appropriate time. Like this feels very on point for the transition into the sort of holiday season. You know what I mean? It's because of some of these sixth chords and some of the progressions that we got here. They have some of that nostalgic kind of, at times even spooky. I mean, but it's got that to it, you know. A bit of mystery, a bit of brightness, a bit of warmth, and quite cheery even. Like it gets very bouncy, you know, and very sort of like jaunty and fun. Yeah, it's a trip, but it's very, very cool, man. It's very fun. Some outstanding composition and some amazing vocal work too by the group. It's incredible, man. Jeez. Chill Kill, the third album. My goodness. All I can say, right, is for everything I know of Red Velvet, for the experience I've had with their music and everything, I think it's perfect. I think it's everything that it can be. Like as much as it can be, you know what I mean? Like this is exactly where they should be, right? As far as the songs that are in this album, everything about it, I think it's kind of a perfect album. That was incredible. Red Velvet, Chill Kill, an amazing experience.